Bash provides some handy shortcuts called expansions, and you may already be familiar with one of them even if you don't know what it's called. If you've ever used the tilde character to represent your home directory, you've used tilde expansion. The tilde character represents the value of the user's home variable. The tilde followed by a dash or minus represents the bash variable called oldpwd, which is the directory that you were just in if you've recently changed directories. There are some other features as well, and I encourage you to check out the documentation for tilde expansion to learn more. I'll step into the fruit directory here. Another handy type of expansion is called brace expansion. This is written with braces around an expression, and it can help with repeated commands with different terms or interpolation within a range. Let's say I wanted to create a bunch of files, but I didn't want to type each command to do so. With brace expansion, I can type touch, apple, banana, cherry, durian, and I can see that that created 4 files. Of course, I could do that with touch just by itself, but I can use interpolation for things that I really don't want to type out each time. Let's say I want to create 1,000 files. It would be a little tedious to touch each of those individually, so I can type touch, and then the beginning of the file name, file underscore, this can be whatever you want, 1.1000, and close the brace, and then when I list the directory, there's 1,000 new files. Now, the upper limit of this range seems to vary by platform. On my Mac, I can get up to about 14,340. My Linux machine here goes much higher than that, but that's not really the point. Bash version 4 added the ability to pad these series of numbers with 0. Normally, if I asked for the numbers 1 through 10, I'd get this. But if I started naming files like this, they wouldn't sort the way you might want, as you saw before. For example, file 428, file 429, file 43, file 430. Of course, that's not an incorrect sort. There is a logic to it. But like I said, it may not be what you expect. I can fix that with 0 padding. But first, let me clear out all these files. And I'll create new files. Notice the 0 in front of the 1. It doesn't matter how many places you need to pad. 1 0 is all it takes. So now the files sort the way I'd expect, and they all have the same file name length. As of Bash 4, you can also specify an interval. I'll clear the screen here, and then I'll type echo and curly brace 1.10.2. In this case, I'll get the numbers between 1 and 10 counting by 2s, or 3s, or any absolute value integer you might need. Brace expansion works with letters as well. As you can see, the capital letters come before the lowercase letters, with a couple symbols in between. And like I mentioned, with Bash 4 and above, you can specify an interval with letters as well. Brace expansion will interpret the range that you give it. So, as an example, I said w.d, which is not only backwards, but it's also a subrange of the alphabet. If you do use this in your scripts, make sure to keep in mind that your target audience may not have this feature available if they're on certain platforms. And I can chain together these expressions as well. I'll get rid of all of those files I created just a minute ago, and type clear to clear up the screen. And then I'll create a series of files, named with a fruit, underscore, a number, underscore, and a lowercase letter. And suddenly I have thousands of files. In fact, I can take the output of ls-1 and pipe it into wc-l, which is a word count, with the -l flag giving me the line count, and I can see I have 8,000 files. Obviously, this has applications beyond file creation, and it's important to be able to recognize when it's being used and when to use it.